There is a waterfall roaring proudly in the central part of Nigeria that is significant among Africa's falls when the total height is considered. It helps irrigation of the different crops, providing a healthy life for the river, and this leads to the growth of trees and plants along the riverbanks, and the presence of the trees leads to reduced soil erosion due to the stability of the soil by the plants. This waterfall is called Farunruwa, and it is located in Nasarawa State, a federating unit that is bounded in the north by Kaduna State, in the west by the Federal Capital Territory, in the south by Kogi and Benue states, and in the east by Taraba and Plateau states. Nasarawa consists of 13 local government areas where several languages are spoken, including Egon, Mada, Doma, Bagi, and Gwandara, just to mention a few. Nasarawa State has agriculture as the mainstay of its economy, with the production of varieties of cash crops throughout the year. It also contains various minerals such as salt, barite, and bauxite, which are mostly mined by artisanal miners, making it the home of solid minerals. One of Nasarawa State's most significant local government areas is Kefi, which serves as a gateway to Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. Kefi is also significant for being the location of the main campus of the Nasarawa State University, a citadel of learning established under the Nasarawa State Law No. 2 of 2001, as passed by the State House of Assembly under Governor Abdullahi Adamu, but was born and sited in February of 2002 at the defunct College of Arts, Science and Technology, KEFI. It was established with the fundamental aim of providing an avenue for Nasarawa State indigents to pursue and acquire tertiary education. The State University caters for both full-time and part-time students. Like the famous Farunruwa, which irrigates the ecosystem, the Nasarawa State University irrigates the minds of Nigerian scholars, providing a pool of human resources with the potential to change the economic landscape in Nigeria for the better. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund is a major development partner to the university, and it has funded a large number of intervention projects that have strategically positioned the academic institution for success. Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro, the Executive Secretary of TETFund, expresses his passion for the work TETFund is doing, especially when it comes to successful project implementation.
Today, you know it. You go out there and people are saying, but for TETFund, but for TETFund. It is very obvious that if it was not the idea of non-budgetary funding window through 2% education tax, that is what the law and the Act of TETFund stipulates, is helping to intervene. Only God knows what would have been the situation. But today we thank God that because the law was crafted to protect the trust fund, the money made available from collection of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, to TETFund. If it was not so, you can imagine what would have been the situation. It's generally said that as you move across our public tertiary institutions, that is the federal or state universities, polytechnics, or colleges of education, you will see the signature of TETFund all over. We are not done. We were intervening and providing mainly physical infrastructure. Now we are going into what we call the content component, because those are the things that matter in the ranking of universities.
Professor Suleiman Bala Mohammed is the Vice Chancellor of the Nasarawa State University. He provides more details about the institution he leads.
This institution was established 2001. It started with a takeoff site in Pianco in Kefi. It has grown over the years Today, we have about 8 faculties: Faculty of Administration, Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Social Sciences, Faculty of Law, Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Faculty of Education, Faculty of Agriculture. And we are planning to establish 2 new programs: Faculty of Engineering and College of Medicine. We have about 4 campuses, 2 in Kefi. The one in Pianku was the takeoff site. The Akwanga Road is the main campus. There is a campus in Gudi that is going to house our engineering program. And then there is Faculty of Agriculture in Lafia. The university has a very robust postgraduate program, and we have a projected student population of 35,000 students.
Once upon a time, Nigerian universities were wallowing in decay with no help in sight. Poor funding and neglect were typical of most public tertiary institutions. The establishment of TETFund was a turning point that changed all that. This is not to say challenges don't still exist for any post-secondary institution. Professor Mohammed outlines some of the historical and emerging challenges and how TETFund continues to play a critical role in providing solutions.
The major problem with Nigerian universities, and state universities in particular, is that of funding. The limitation of funds have actually incapacitated the institution from providing top-class facilities, lecture theaters, libraries, laboratories. And it has also limited their capacity for fellowship and staff development. But with the intervention of TETFund, it has really been revolutionary. It has really changed the educational landscape of university education in Nigeria, because the intervention of TETFund has actually enabled public universities to be able to address their infrastructural deficits, whether it is in terms of lecture theaters, in terms of classrooms, in terms of office accommodation, in terms of equipment, as well as in terms of fellowship and training of staff. Over the years, TETFund has done this creditably, and we have benefited as an institution with this gesture of TETFund, and I can assure you that we are very happy with their contribution.
For a public tertiary institution to become a beneficiary of TETFund intervention, it is required to apply the money for the following: provision of essential physical infrastructure for teaching and learning, provision of infrastructural materials and equipment, research, book development and publication of journals and books, academic staff training and development, and any other need which, in the opinion of the Board of Trustees of TETFund, is critical and essential for the improvement of quality and maintenance of standards in the educational institutions. The Board of Trustees of the Fund is statutorily charged with the responsibility of administering, managing, and disbursements of these funds to beneficiaries in the public tertiary educational institutions under established guidelines. The Nasarawa State University is a recipient of such interventions, as testified by the Vice Chancellor.
In this institution, TETFund has actually intervened dramatically. One, in the area of infrastructural development. As I speak with you, TETFund has actually supported us in virtually almost all the faculties of the university. We have either lecture theater or block of offices or classrooms or laboratories that they have constructed. If you go to our Faculty of Agriculture in Lafia, currently we are building block of classrooms with TETFund funding. If you go to our Gudi campus, we are building central laboratory workshop for our upcoming Faculty of Engineering. If you come to our main campus in Kefi, we are building a twin laboratory complex, and we're also building phase 1 of the College of Medicine. We're also building our new Senate building. TETFund has also giving us money for equipments. As I speak, we have ordered for equipment for engineering and medicine worth about 1 billion naira. And so we have benefited in terms of infrastructural development. In terms of training of staff, the fellowship program, we have benefited from fellowship training for our staff in different parts of the world, including Nigerian universities. A lot of our staff have enjoyed from this sponsorship. They have gone outside of this country. Some of them are still on the program, and many of them have graduated. And a lot of them are also in Nigerian universities. Some have graduated, and the number is counting. So we have really benefited a lot in terms of infrastructural development and in terms of sponsorship.
Some of the academic staff of the university who have benefited from training sponsored by TETFund shared the stories of their experiences.
I benefited from the local training, and I trained in Bayero University, Kano. And afterward, I came back, and I also benefited for the international. And I traveled to Egypt, which I have finished the program. I'm now back. I went to Egypt for PhD in Bayero University, which is MSc.
I benefited from the international training program, for which I had to travel down to Ghana, where I had my studies. As an individual, I quite appreciate the privilege granted me through TETFund to go there and participate in the study, because as an individual, I've benefited immensely in the course of being trained there.
A senior lecturer with the Department of Banking and Finance, Nasarawa State University, KEFI. It really enhanced my capacity, particularly on the area of research and development. It actually enhanced so much on that aspect, because I have learned so many new skills, so many new ways of doing a good research. Many things which I don't know them before, I have learned them, such as econometric skills, which I have learned particularly from my supervisor, which happens to be one of the best econometricians in Malaysia. So I've learned so much on that area.
As part of its annual intervention plans, TETFund has what it calls high impact intervention, which by its very definition is an intervention targeted towards projects that are so potent in their strategic significance that they are literally transformative. Professor Mohammed tells us more.
Nasarawa State University was a beneficiary of the high impact intervention for North Central Zone for 2020. We got the sum of 3 billion naira. And that 3 billion naira, we're utilizing them in 3 projects. 1, new Senate building. 2, central laboratory workshop. 3, purchase of equipment for upcoming engineering. And so as far as we are concerned, TETFund is doing a marvelous job. We are very happy with what they are doing, and we believe that with TETFund, the funding situation in Nigerian universities is greatly enhanced. We are very excited about this paradigm shift that you talk about the focus on research, because no nation can develop without research. Research is very key in the socio-economic and scientific development of any society. And we're happy that TETFund is given that attention. And I want to place on record our appreciation to the ES of TETFund, Professor Bogoro Suleiman, for that emphasis. And that is why we have really decided to also try to move to areas that we can do applied research, particularly in the fields of engineering and in the fields of medicine. The equipments we are bringing, they are essentially equipments that will enable us to get accreditation for medicine and for engineering so that we can run the programs. So they are basic equipments. Because the procedure is that once you have the staff, the facility, and the equipment, you invite NUC for resource verification. In the case of engineering, you invite Koren Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. For medicine, you also invite NUC, and then you invite Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. They'll come and look at the facilities and the staff you have. And once they okay it, they will allow you to run the program.
Surrounded by hills and lush vegetation, the main campus of the Nasarawa State University has a tranquil ambience suitable for teaching and learning, especially in the modern era. Flanking one of the roads close to the Senate Building project is the ICT Center, an edifice which stands as a symbol of both virtual and in-person education for the 21st century.
The ICT Center is one of the projects that we have, again, courtesy of TETFund. We got funding for the construction of an ICT building that will have more than 1,000 seater capacity. We had initial problem with the contractors and the consultants, but we were able to resolve that. And as you would have seen, that ICT center is big and is befitting, and we have been able to furnish it with funding from TETFund. And so today, as far as ICT is concerned, we have a befitting ICT center that has more than 1,000 seater capacity, that we use it in order to do all our large exams and so on. In fact, when we invited JAM to come and do their UME exams, and by the time they went around the facility, in fact, they declared that we have the best UTME center in Nasarawa State. That is to tell you how lucky we were to have TETFund intervention in building ICT. On our own, we are making efforts to provide the other infrastructure so that we will use ICT to drive teaching and learning in the university. But really, the foundation has been laid for us.
TETFund is embarking on a paradigm shift which seeks to institutionalize research and development in Nigeria. For this to be successful, improvement of the content component of education interventions is essential. The staff of the Nasarawa State University who have received training courtesy TETFund speak on how what they have learned will add value to their institution and to the society at large.
For my institution, since I came back, I've contributed immensely to the growth of my department. And apart from that, just about a few months back now, when I was appointed as the HOD of Computer Science Department, I had to put up 2 new programs entirely. These are programs that I had to develop based on the knowledge that I have acquired over there. And the new program has already passed through the department, it has passed through the faculty. It's presently with the Directorate of Academic Planning, for which I believe it will also scale through, since it has passed through the major area of concern. The 2 programs are data science and cybersecurity and forensic, which will be at BSc level. These are the 2 programs that has been introduced into the department now.
As I'm talking to you now, before I walked out of my office, my head of department came. There is a new program, and they want a curriculum. So it's cancer biology and molecular medicine. So when she was asking me, I said, this, of course, that's my area. So as it is, they gave me just a week to produce the curriculum. I'm the only person in the whole department in that area. In the whole department, I'm the only person that teaches bioinformatics. I'm the only person that teaches immunology. I acquired a lot of knowledge. So without TETFund, I don't think it would have been possible for me to go for PhD abroad, because the money is not it's very expensive. So definitely it has changed the way I perceive knowledge generally.
Yeah, by continuous research and training of other people. But the challenge is no matter how much you have, how willing you are to give out, unless the beneficiaries are ready to take, that's when it will be meaningful. So I'm ready at all levels, the undergraduate, postgraduate, even the general public, to impact on this knowledge. That's one aspect. Another aspect on continuous research, publishing, identifying problems, then try to propose suggestion or solution to the problem via means of research.
When agencies and institutions work together, processes and goals become more aligned, leading towards a higher success rate of achieving a common goal. With increasing competition in the market, it's become increasingly important to encourage collaboration, especially when it comes to government, the academia, and industry. In fact, one can define these as the 3 pillars of a competitive economy. If any of the 3 pillars falters, we will not be able to reach our goals. This is why TETFund strives to be as accessible and cordial as possible.
I am very grateful and appreciative of the contributions that they have made to the growth and development of this university. And I know that they have supported this university wholeheartedly. And when I came on board, they have actually shown considerable support to what I am doing. Because I have changed the focus to really not thinking about this project in terms of number, but in terms of impact. And I've gotten the kind of support that I think I should be grateful to them. I just told you that the 2021 High Impact Intervention National State University was actually given that. Somebody who is really concerned with following the due process and then ensuring that these projects are completed based on specification. And what I have observed is that once you respect the regulations, you will be a friend of TETFund, and they will continuously support you. I want to use this opportunity to express my profound appreciation to the leadership of TETFund. I want to appreciate the Executive Secretary, Professor Suleiman Bogoro, and all his management team for the excellent work that they are doing in the Nigerian university system.
Nasarawa State University is growing and finding its place as a foremost tertiary institution in Nigeria. Standing firmly behind it is TETFund, because the university is a valuable resource in the effort to grow the Nigerian economy, making it knowledge-based and globally competitive. The principle behind research and development is the diligent application of information gathered from careful study of the development of innovative concepts, ideas, and products that will make Nigeria a productive net exporter of goods and services. And that is the paradigm shift.